Shilo Sanders signed as an undrafted free agent with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and participated in Bucks rookie minicamp here. And Coach Fred, I wanted to break down why I think the Buccaneers are a great spot for Shilo Sanders. Now, when it comes to Shilo, I think it's fair to say that he's an undrafted free agent. It's going to be a battle for him to make these rosters here. But nonetheless, I think him and Tampa Bay under Todd Bowles, I think is a great spot for him. Nonetheless, the Buccaneers safety room is definitely lighter, and Shilo definitely has an opportunity to make the team if he plays his cards right and takes care of business on the field here. Another thing that I wanted to highlight, though, the Buccaneers, and when you look at Shilo Sanders as a safety, I've heard this criticism a lot about Shilo, that he's not the prototypical NFL safety. It's like, when you look at Jamal Adams and his type of hard hitting safeties, that's not really what the game is anymore. You don't see the Cam Chancellors and these bigger, safeties in the game anymore. You don't typically see that. And Shilo, I think, falls into that category. But then one thing I will highlight, though, the Buccaneers have a history of developing guys just like Shilo, in my opinion. Recently, they got a guy named Jordan Whitehead, been there and done that. He left for a few years and returned to Tampa Bay, but he's somebody who was developed and I think is a very similar player to Shilo here, harder hitting safety, not as quick here, not as great at hips. But I think, when it comes down to it, for Shilo in Tampa Bay, I think that's a great situation for him, and it gives him an opportunity to develop and potentially make the roster here in Tampa Bay. Coach Fred, what are your thoughts on that? Do you agree with that? Disagree? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's always good to be drafted as a defensive player by a defensive head coach, and that works for him in his favor. But like you said, in that safety room, it's a little light. But maybe a year ago, before he got hurt, either a year ago or 2 years ago, remember now they made Whitfield the highest paid safety in football.
Yeah.
So there are guys back there. It's not just an empty room, but I think if he has the willingness to play special teams and be that guy as a spare guy, I think he has an excellent chance to make the team because of Whitfield coming off an injury. The guy that came in for him did a great job, but if I'm not mistaken, he was a rookie last year as well. So he's got a great opportunity to do some things right where he's at in that spot, no doubt about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Shilo, talks to Bucks media here, and said he wants to be the snack guy for the safety room, so to speak. Here, Coach Fred, take a listen to this.
I'm already preparing on Sunday to get in the safety group chat for all the snacks. I'm going to be the snack guy. So we're just going to get a wholesale. I'm going to have everything everybody needs. So.
What are the snacks of choice?
Because the meetings are really long, so I understand. So.
You got to be fueled.
Yeah, but we'll find out on Sunday. I might have like a little spreadsheet with everybody's favorite stuff on there. You know what I'm saying?
What about for you?
I'm just a rookie.
Hey, Coach Fred, that's what Shiloh's doing. Take care of business, Coach Fred. You see him walking in, shaking every reporter's hand. These are the little things that Shiloh's going to have to do to make the team. I'm with it, though, and I think Shilo, if anything, has a great attitude. We got to see him in that draft process with Shedeur Sanders on the live streams and stuff. I think Shilo is a great older brother to Shedeur, has a great attitude and overall attitude about everything, and seems to be responding the right way in Tampa Bay. Coach Fred, go ahead.
That right there is, I don't know who suggested it. I'm not sure who the PR person is, but that right there is genius.
Yeah.
Because that now starts to clean his face, even though he was not ever one that was just kind of I don't want to say just out there, but I think his image at Colorado, the way things kind of spiraled, so to speak, heading into the draft. I think both of those kids with their last name had some dirt. And this way he comes in, I think that's showing that, hey, I'm humble. I am a kid that's willing to do what it takes. I'm not coming in here saying I'm bigger than anybody in the program. So again, whether if that was him by himself or if that was a PR team, whatever, man, I got to tip that out. That is a great freaking move off the bat right there that gets you in good graces with everybody. Now the media is not going to crucify you. Oh, he dropped 2 picks and he got a B4 touchdown. He was overrated. they're going to be a little bit lenient,
Yeah.
lenient, or however you want to put it,
Yes.
When they're covering him starting off now. So I think that was a genius move. Genius move.
Definitely, and Shiloh's got a likable guy for the most part, and I think people in Tampa Bay are going to embrace him. I think he's got great character, if anything. And, we really saw that. The pre-draft process with him mentoring his older brother. But Coach Fred, let me ask you, looking at Shilo as a player, and I think you can give great perspective on this. He's going to have quite the battle here, and I just talked about that. Why I thought it was a great situation for him ending up in Tampa Bay. But the type of player he is, harder hitting, box safety, not as great at hips, kind of different old school type of player that would have, I think, have been a better fit in the older game here. Now the game's a little bit faster, a little bit different. But what does he got to do to change his game and evolve his game to be an NFL safety, Coach Fred?
He's got to get in the coverage part of things.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to help him a lot, because what is the game went to, especially in that division. The Lions are going to throw it all over the place. We already know what Green Bay has in their receiver room. So the game is going to be a game of where he's got to catch up in the pass defense. And if he can get that fixed, along with the willingness to play special teams, I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, definitely. And like we just mentioned, if he does what you just mentioned, does the little things, I think he's got a real shot to make the team in Tampa Bay. And it doesn't hurt that his last name is Sanders, Coach Fred. I think that'll definitely help him, especially down in the state of Florida here, Coach.